This video will introduce you to framework matrices. These are a very useful tool that almost cross-tabulate qualitative data. They can be used almost like a query to automatically generate some results for you, or they can be used as a form of note to help you develop your own summaries. Framework matrices are therefore stored within the Notes area in their own folder for framework matrices. You can create a framework matrix by going to the Create ribbon and choosing Framework Matrix. The first thing you need to do is give this a name. I'm going to call this one Economy. The next thing I need to do are prepare the rows of my framework matrix. This here will enable me to select cases. I'm going to go into here, open up the cases folder, choose people, and then select all of the interview participants, like this. I also have the option of bringing in some attributes about these people. All I'm going to do is bring in their age group and their gender. The framework matrix will try to order the people based on these attributes. Finally, I need to specify the columns. So these are the themes that we want to use. As you can guess from the name of this, I'm going to be using the sub-themes of economy and clicking OK. So to summarise, we name our matrix, we select the cases we want to appear within its rows, and we select the themes we want to appear in its columns, and then we click OK. You'll notice the framework matrix has opened. I'm just going to rearrange my interface to give us a bit more room. The rows will feature the cases that we have brought into this matrix, and the columns feature the themes. When I click into any given row, the text associated with this case will appear on the right hand side. As I've clicked on Betty, we can see the text associated with Becky's case is displayed here. If I move down to Dorothy, we can see the text associated with Dorothy's case is here. As I scroll down, you'll see the same happens no matter which row I am clicking on. If we return to the top of this framework matrix and click into Betty's row, I can show you the two ways in which a framework matrix can be used. The first way is to help me generate summaries of these themes within this case. So, for example, I can see over here that Betty is talking about the cost of living and particularly opportunities for young people living in the area and being able to afford their own homes and a place to live. She says there's not a lot down here that is affordable. I think this is really interesting and definitely links to jobs and the cost of living. So what I'm going to do is start typing a summary of what Betty has said. Now that I have made this summary, I can go back over to the text and highlight it, and then I can choose to copy. Once I've done this, I can actually go over to my text summary here and right click and click New Summary Link. This works a little bit like a See Also link, linking my summary here to the text on the right hand side. If I click off this row and back in again, you'll see when I click on this red area, the linked text is available, and so this can be used to track my summaries to the actual text. This stands as the first way in which we can use a framework matrix, and this is actually closely linked to a particular methodology called the framework approach. An alternative way in which we can use the framework matrix is almost like a query. You'll notice at the top in the framework matrix ribbon there is the option to auto summarize. If I click that button, it will automatically find where each of these cases overlap with the specified theme, and it will bring the text into this automatically. I'm going to click it now. Once the summary is complete, I'll get a report from NVivo just to let me know how many summaries have been modified. In this case, it's 43. I can now scroll down through this matrix and see that this is a really appropriate summary. All of the text in the participant's own words that has been coded into each of these themes is now displayed in this table. This is slightly different to the other queries in that it has essentially created a new source of information. This is one of the main reasons why framework matrices are stored within the notes area. If I later do more coding, I would have to click Auto Summarize again to update the summaries. Some users find the NVivo interface a little bit difficult to navigate when reading a framework matrix. Once you've completed the summary, you can right click and choose to export this. This will save as a Microsoft Excel file, and you may find it easier to use and manipulate in Excel. This video has very briefly shown the two main ways in which you can use a framework matrix. It can be used to help us as researchers summarise data and make sense of what our participants have said. In this approach, it is our responsibility to type those summaries and to link our summary back to the original text. Alternatively, we can use a framework matrix much more like a query, in which we're getting NVivo to automatically complete those summaries for us. Hopefully now you will feel confident in experimenting with framework matrices and creating your own framework matrix.